Hi, this is Scott Garibay, and today I want to talk about Vivek Ramaswamy and ask the question, should he address Jada Pinkett Smith directly as part of his 2024 U.S. presidential race? Yes, 100% yes. And the reason why is Jada Pinkett Smith, in my humble opinion, has done catastrophic damage to the American people and America as a nation. She has hammered the American people and fundamentally, I would say, and delivered a cultural blow to every American who cares about truth and cares about love. Right? She has fundamentally taken a jackhammer to American love and American honesty, and is attempting to reform a new social contract for all Americans. And that new social contract is, if you are poor, you are bound to honesty and you are bound to believe. And if you are privileged and wealthy, then you're allowed to lie all the time. And lie to someone's face and then give them information as though it's true, right? So right now, Jada and Vivek, this is an American crisis, and Vivek, this is an American political crisis, and Vivek Ramaswamy needs to speak to it to show leadership. All right, let's get into this. All right, so I am astounded by what we're seeing, right? So Jada Pinkett Smith is on tour right now, and she's saying, hey, this is my book worthy. I want you to read this like it's truth, right? Like it's not every single page is a gigantic pile of lies that I will deny 1 year from now. Oh, but while I'm presenting you this book that you should read as truth, this is not a nonfiction book. This is autobiographical, right? Like, I want you to understand that I have lied to you every single day for 7 years. Politically, right? So what Jada Pinkett Smith has said for 7 years is that polyamory is for cool people who know how to structure their life. She said, hey, you took a vow with your partner and you call that marriage. Let me explain to you Hollywood marriage, polyamory, right? You're a fool. You took a vow, you promised to be faithful, and you're an idiot because you do that. You're just a stupid fool, right? Hollywood, what we do is we take vows, we break those vows to one another, right? And we're with whoever we want. This person's with this person, and the other, well, actually, I'm with whoever I want. I think the other one's been faithful. I guess, I don't know. Like, you know, but you're there. She's like, at least one person in a marriage can be polyamorous. And guess what? It works, right? Look at us. And here's the wild thing. She came out and she said, I've lied to you for 7 years straight. I've lied to you so many times, no one could possibly count all the times I've lied to you, right? Like, there's been like easily 50, 100 different times where I presented that me and my husband were together and loved one another, and that our polyamory had strengthened marriage, right? And we told you that you were an idiot if you were faithful to your spouse, right? And that's not what's going to keep a marriage together. Now, the reality is, for 7 years, I told that to your face, and I probably destroyed thousands of marriages with people who listened to my red table every day, and I told them that we were happy and together and there was harmony. But the reality is, we detested each other. We couldn't even be in each other's presence, and we really despised one another. And our entire life that we were presenting to you as light and joy was actually hatred, disharmony, and a pile of lies. Every day lying, right? Lying to the point where Voldemort's like, hey, I'm going to shred my soul, right? Jada Pinkett Smith lied so much, right, for 7 years, and included many, many, many people in the lie. She had to get a whole cadre of people to reinforce the idea. While the reality was, her and Will Smith detested each other so much they could not even be in the same room together for 7 years unless they were pretending to be in a happy marriage, which was joyless and it had no intimacy and was bereft of anything of value, right? But she sold this as political speech. She's like, Hollywood marriage, not actual marriage. Polyamory, right? Monogamy is for idiots. That's political speech, right? Because we have structured our laws, we have structured our contracts, we have structured our entire system around monogamy, right? And she came right at it and was like, no, this isn't about, she was like, this isn't about, I'm telling you how to live your life. And she lied to people for 7 years. I'm convinced destroyed thousands of marriages where people were like, oh, hey, I know you want you and me to have something special, right? But I'm going to take my parts and I'm going to go dip them in another pool, right? And you're going to accept that because Pinkett Smith is showing every day that this is viable and this doesn't turn to hatred and bitterness and despair, which is exactly what she was like. This is light and joy. This is light, joy, and wonder, right? It was bitterness, despair, and hatred, right? Like just the deepest, most soulless life, right? That she was selling, right? Literally selling, saying, do it my way, right? Don't give fidelity, give infidelity, because it remains strong. But then 7 years later, she comes out and says, it was all a lie. And the reason why Vivek has to jump in is it's a proxy. Pinkett Smith is a proxy for hundreds of Hollywood liars who are telling us in every art project, making massive political speech and saying, this is how you should structure your life. And the biggest one is green energy, right? They're like, oh, you should buy this hummus-powered Tesla, right? And the reason why is your old car, what use is it? It doesn't produce lots of great jobs for lots of people. It doesn't use a fuel we have 400 years worth of, right? It's not good. And the reality is all lies, right? These, like right now, for every e-car that's out there, they're digging up, like just tearing Africa apart, right? And just redoing all the old oil issues to get the minerals they need for the batteries, right? And just repeating all the same old horrible things we did to create fossil fuel cars. They're doing even worse for e-cars, just tearing the earth apart, right? Like blood metals, like it's incredible, right? But they're lying right, and that's the issue. They're like, oh yeah, we told you that you should shut down factories that like employ low millions of Americans with incredibly high paying jobs, right? To make these green vehicles, which have never proven to be profitable, can't even be sold for the amount that it costs, right? That require massive, that require absolutely massive, like infrastructure, right? And support to even make one of them, right? And here's the thing, I think this is a proxy, right? They're going to come out and say 7 years, oh, we knew. We were telling you shut down factories that make cars that we can't make, right? It was a complete lie. We just lied to your face, right? Why did we do it? Because you're poor and you have to believe and accept. And we're privileged and wealthy, right? So we get to lie to you all the time. We get to even lie to you for 7 years and then hand you a book that is titled nonfiction, right? That's the social contract, you poor fool. I'm a rich, privileged, wealthy person. It's astounding. It is, and Vivek has to jump in and say, Jada Pinkett Smith has been engaged in political speech for decades. She's been lying, and by her words, she lied to us for 7 years, and she is a proxy. And there's 100 people in Hollywood taking issue after issue after issue, telling you one thing now and setting you up to tell you later that they lied to your face every single day for 7 years. and then hand you more information they expect you to receive as truth because you're poor. And your job is to believe and accept. And they're privileged and wealthy. And their job is to lie constantly in however it helps them. And then expect you to believe the next word out of their mouth. Vivek has to step in, right? This is what leaders do. They solve problems that don't belong to them. Every single word of that is my humble opinion. What's important is when I get to hear your humble opinion, when you get in the comments and send your traffic. And I would encourage you, if you do that, I'm more than willing to hear negative comments, but maybe put in some positive ones. Can't all be on the one side. Every single word of that is my humble opinion. I'm eager to hear your humble opinion, which I'm hoping will be mixed. Please consider liking, subscribing, and have a wonderful millennium.